Hello everybody and welcome to niXtreme. Today we're going to be checking out my pickups leading into June. Let's get into it. Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be checking out my pickups leading into June. But before we do that, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and let's jump in. Okay, leading into my pickups, we're going to go new to old. We're going to save the old for last and the best for last. So let's start off with our number one. Our first pickup this month is a bargain bin game from Walmart, and that is Battle Chasers Night War. This game is a typical turn-based JRPG, but it has gorgeous graphics. The art style is real cool. It's dirt cheap though. Probably the cheapest game I've gotten on the Switch. I only paid $15 for this, so check it out if you can. Next up, also on the Nintendo Switch, I picked up NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. Now this is actually the cheapest game I've ever gotten on the Switch, which I only paid $10 for off of an Amazon warehouse deal. Now this game is pretty cool. It's pretty much NBA Jam. It's like a modern NBA Jam. But what's cool about it is the difference between this and NBA Jam. I think an NBA Jam has only had like 2 or 3 players per team when it came out. This one's got up to 12 on some teams. And you start with very few of them. You don't even have enough players for all the teams. There is so a lot of the teams out of the box you can't play as, but you unlock them as you go. The only issue with this game is it's set up for microtransactions, so you can unlock everybody over time, but it takes a long time because there's a lottery system for unlocking characters, and if you can unlock the same character more than once, and all it does is double that character's XP. So you may be trying to get Michael Jordan and you can't get him, and you keep on getting some other player over and over again instead. To unlock the players individually, it's super expensive if the in-game currency, and they want you to buy the microtransaction currency to try and unlock the guys you actually do want. That being said, the gameplay is super fun in this. It's identical to NBA Jam in every way. It's 2-on-2 basketball. Check it out if you get a chance. It's dirt cheap and it's a fun game. Okay, the next 7 we're going to bust through pretty quick here, because these 7 I did a previous unboxing of these 7 Sega Genesis games, which I got in a Sega Genesis lot. I'll put the link to that video in the description below, but I'm just going to go through these real quick because, like I said, I already went more into the more detail in my previous video. So starting out with, I have Tasmania. This is a Sega Genesis staple, this game. Cool game. This is one of the games, it's fun, but probably some of the worst sound on the Sega Genesis out of any game I played on it. But it's one that a lot of people had.
Hey, Tazzy, old devil, you sure toss a mean salad.
Okay, next up out of that Sega Genesis lot, we have Robocop 3. This is kind of like a walk-in gun game. It's a little bit more difficult than it should be, but it is Robocop. Cool cover art. The movie stank for Robocop 3. Game isn't that much better, but at least it's Robocop.
Hey, you got a light? Sure, man.
Allow me, scum.
Okay, next up is the super fun Marble Madness, made by EA. Now, this game is super cool. It's essentially you roll a marble down a course, and there's enemies and stuff, and you avoid the enemies and the obstacles, and you're just trying to get the marble to the end of the course. Pretty cool game. Check it out.
Do you have what it takes, or will Marble Madness make you lose your marbles? Marble Madness!
Okay, next up we have Mutants. This is a side-scroller game. It's kind of a platformer. A little bit of a rip-off, kind of like the X-Men 1 game for the Sega Genesis. A little bit of rip-off of X-Men. Not great, but it's still an okay time. Check it out if you're interested. Okay, next up in the Sega Genesis slot, we have Bram Stoker's Dracula. This game you play as Keanu, and it's based on the movie, the Bram Stoker Dracula movie. This game's kind of good. It plays like a Castlevania, so it's really worth checking out if you're a Castlevania fan.
I have offended you with my ignorance, Count.
Okay, next up, the most notable game in this lot is Arrow the Acrobat. This game came out when everybody was trying to follow the animal mascot theme for their games. This one ended up being one of the better ones. You play as Arrow the Acrobat, who is a bat, who's part of the circus.
Arrow the Acrobat from Sunsoft on Super NES and Sega Genesis. Bite me!
And last up in the Sega Genesis lot, we have Mighty Max, based on the cartoon/toy line in the early 90s. This game is not that great, but a lot of nostalgia for me because I love the cartoon and I love the toys. Okay, we burned through that Sega Genesis lot quick. Like I said, I already have a more in-depth video on those. I'm going to leave the link to that down in the description. So check out that video when you're done here. Or check it out now, and then come back to this one after. Whatever you want. Next up, we have TNC Surf Design, Pearl City, Hawaii, Wood, Water, and Rage. Or you could call it Town and Country Surf Design. This is a game based on a Hawaiian surf shop. And it's kind of cool. You play as all the surf shop's mascots, and there's skateboarding stages and surfing stages. The skateboarding stage is pretty cool. You're going down like a highway, and you can grind on the rail, and you can go over jumps over potholes and stuff. It's pretty cool. Check it out.
Score free. Bodyboards, fins, leashes, skis, and more at TNC Surf. Go big.
Next up, we have Robo-Warrior on the NES. Now, Robo-Warrior is a cool game. It's like Bomberman, but it's level-based. It's got a kick-ass soundtrack, and it's a lot of fun. So check out Robo-Warrior if you can. Okay, and last but most important, we have a game that has been missing in my collection for a while. It is the last console Zelda game that I did not have, and that I did not have complete in box as well. And that is Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link. Yes, I never had this game. I have every other console Zelda game complete in box. This is the only one I was missing. It is not the most liked Zelda game, but this game does have a kick-ass soundtrack, and it does introduce a lot of things into the series that would carry on into later games. So it's still a good game to check out, but you have to deal with a lot of random encounters while you're exploring the world, which are a little bit annoying, and there's a lot of areas in dungeons which are impossible to figure out unless you were to look it up in a guide of some sort.
The legend of Zelda continues.
Defeat your enemies, save the kingdom, use your sword. Beware.
I cannot help you.
Find the crystals, rescue the princess.
Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. And now, get into the latest Nintendo games, Ghostbusters 2 and Iron Sword. Only from Nintendo, now you're playing with power.
Well, everybody, that's my video on my pickups leading into June. If you like what you saw, hit like. If you dislike what you saw, hit dislike. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and leave a comment if you can. We'll see you later.